is up, YouTube? Long time no see. So I thought I'd try something new with some Airshow news for you. As you can tell by the title of this first video I'm doing, it is about the controversial F-35 Lightning II. Now, we've all heard about the F-35 for years and years and how controversial it is. Now, it's been flying at air shows. In the F-35A has been flying, not technically demonstrations, but they've been flying in a heritage flight. Not a very energetic demonstration as what we're probably used to when it comes to tactical demonstrations. The F-35B also has been doing demonstrations, also in limited maneuverability, mostly just showing off its VTOL capabilities. The F-35A, we did get a glimpse of its actual maneuvering envelope at the Royal International Air Tattoo a few years ago. Now, that demo wasn't flown by a U.S. Air Force demonstration pilot. It was flown by a Lockheed test pilot. Now, anyone who hasn't seen that video, I believe that video is from 2016, maybe? And I would suggest you go check that out and you'll see what I'm talking about. It kind of gives a preface of what I'm about to talk about. Now, in that airshow capacity, the F-35 hasn't been all that impressive in comparison to other tactical demonstrations, as I mentioned. But that's mostly because of its development process. The airframe's been extremely limited. They've been still working the bugs out. It's a very costly and expensive program, as everyone probably knows. But that also pays back to the whole F-16 being in a dogfight situation. It's also because the airframe was severely limited in what it could and couldn't do. Now, where the Air Force has had the F-35A the longest, and they've had a chance to work out a lot of those bugs and things like that. And we saw them move from the heritage flight. They announced about a month ago, at the end of December, that they will be changing from the heritage flight team to the demonstration team, and that was the team is based out of Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. Now, the interesting thing is that they announced this video in a video on, I believe, Facebook and a few other of their platforms, the Air Force's platforms that they use. And that was exciting for a lot of us that are in the aviation industry, that, hey, we're going to actually see maybe a tactical demonstration now from the F-35. And who knows, maybe down the line, maybe that means that the F-35B will get a more acrobatic demo. And then now we know that the F-35C is going through its processes and all that. But without going off too far off tangent, you have to get back to the F-35A. The A model, now, nobody had really heard anything about what the demonstration was actually going to look like. There was speculation that maybe they had taken that demonstration that the Lockheed pilot had flown in the Royal International Air Tattoo a few years ago, and they had simply modified it, and that's the demonstration they were going to fly. But up until a few days ago, videos started to surface on Facebook of the demonstration team pilot actually leaking some of the demonstration.
Oh man! Was that a flat spin?
Onto Facebook and some other platforms and other media sources had picked it up on Facebook in particular, is where I first saw the video of the F-35 basically doing a power loop. Now, if anybody is familiar with the F-22 Raptor demo, that's essentially a very low-speed maneuver where it basically looks like the aircraft backflips. Yes, the F-35 can do that too, and people have denied it for years that it's not a very maneuverable aircraft. This demonstration will definitely put a lot of those, albeit armchair critics, in their place, because essentially the F-35 is a miniature Raptor. The power to weight ratio on the F-35A is exceptional. It does have vectored thrust. It has a lot of power, and you can see it in this demonstration. Now, there's a video that I'm going to play that shows not a lot. It just basically teases you. Now, I'm not going to link those specific videos that show, they actually have a video out now of the entire demo being flown. It's filmed from outside Luke Air Force Base. I'm not going to link that video. You all can probably find that on the internet relatively easily. There's going to be probably more of them. They're going to be shared all over the place, I'm sure, soon. But this is the demonstration video teaser that Air Combat Command and the F-35A demo team put out. Okay, so I know it may not have looked like a whole big deal in the promo video, but I assure you, if you go and look at some of these new videos that have come out of the F-35 doing the demo practice at Luke, you can see that this demo is going to be no slouch, and the F-35 is definitely no slouch either. And I'm going to go back and say that a lot of people said this same type of thing when the Super Hornet replaced the Tomcat. And a lot of people just put it down. It's like it's nowhere near as good as the Tomcat and dogfighting and this, that, and the other until people saw it fly at an air show. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen with the F-35. People have been told through many different channels of hearsay of this, that, and the other that it's a horrible airplane. People don't like to fly it. It can't dogfight. This, that, and the other. Well, I can assure you from the video that I've seen that all that information that people have put out there is false. This jet can climb. It's fast. It's maneuverable. It's pretty impressive. Like I said already, it's a miniature Raptor. Now, does that mean, what kind of caveat into the F-35B? Does this mean after this demonstration with the F-35A, will those maneuvers or some of that similar stuff flow into that F-35B demonstration for the Marine Corps? I mean, that's speculation, but one could assume so because that is the second aircraft that's been out the longest, second longest. So, we'll see. But I'm not expecting that to be in 2019. We're talking maybe a few years down the road. Or maybe the demonstration that they have now is what they'll stick with. They'll stick to just showing off its vertical takeoff and landing and abilities. The F-35C, on the other hand, will be interesting to see as well because between the two aircraft, the F-35C is heavier, but it also has a longer wing, or more surface area on the wing for carrier operations. They just cleared carrier operations in the Pacific. The first active squadron is going to be the Argonauts out of Lemoore, NAS Lemoore in California. That's VFA 147. So that'll be interesting to see come down the line. As far as air shows go, to see the F-35A, they do have a schedule released, and it is preliminary. As everyone knows in the air show industry, things are open to change. But I would definitely, if given the option this year, of going and checking that demo out because it looks very high energy. Looks like it's going to be a lot of afterburner, a lot of vapor, just like the F-22 demo. It'll be interesting to see. So I say congratulations to the Air Force. I'm glad to see that the F-35 is going to get its own spotlight now in the air show circuit. So we'll kind of see how it goes from here, and maybe the second video I'm trying to put together is something about the Blue Angels and maybe the transition, how the transition to the Super Hornet's going to be, and one other thing with the Blue Angels. So tune into that episode. Hopefully we'll be up soon as well. So thank you. If you like this video, like and subscribe.